So you wrote down your points, is that what you're saying? So B is what? No one's gonna tell me things. 9, 6, right? And B prime, what do y'all get? 3, 2, okay. And then what? If you put new over original, 3 over 9 would be 1/3. Okay? Anybody have a question about that one? Thumbs up if you got it back. Give me a thumbs down if you put the discrete factor was 3. Nobody? Oh, okay. No, that's good.
I just clicked that the image shrunk.
The image shrunk, okay. And so if this had been like a grade for a writing assignment, do you think you would have got some credit? Do you think you deserve full credit? Probably not. Okay. Okay, how about that? Use example number 2. Describe the transformation. How do you know? Somebody on this side of the room. Look at ladies. Somebody on this side. What you got? Gabby, thank you so much. What? And how do you know? Okay, so she's saying that the image flipped over to here. And then how could we mathematically prove it, you guys? Which, give me a point from the pre-image. B, okay, from the pre-image would be what? I get -7, 2, and then what is it on the new one?
-7,
-7, -2. What happened to get here? The y-axis changed, and this is what? Reflection over x. Y'all remember that from last week? Are we good? Anybody have any questions on that one? Okay, so I'm going to ask the same question. If you just put it's a reflection over x because it looks like it, is it true? Is it as complete as it could have been? What would be the better answer? That plus the proof here. What do you think? Yeah? Okay. All right, you guys, let's pause this for a second. Translations. Well, we already learned last week that basically translation is just a what? Give me a non-mathy word for a translation. I heard somebody say a slide. That's right. Remember that these are just a slide. We're just sliding it over. Okay? Each point of a figure is moved the same distance and in the same, what goes there, you think? Direction, yeah. And they're telling you the algebraic rule, but I'm going to ignore it for right now. Let's move over here. Okay? So A, 2, 3. Looking at the algebraic rule, x, y minus 3. Well, what do you think that means? Well, the x is going to what? Stay the same. And then what are we going to do with that? Subtract 3. So 3 minus 3 would be what? 0. Okay. Now let's do B prime. So that's going to be 3. And then 1 minus 3, -2. And then C prime would be 1, -1. Let's come over here and actually go ahead and graph it, okay? So 2, 0. 3, -2. And 1, -1. Okay? Tell me what happened to it in a verbal description. What happened to it? It slid down. Slid down how many? 3. Right? And it did not move horizontally, right? Now let's look back at the algebraic rule. Because the x didn't do anything, it was just x. What did that tell you? That it wasn't going to move horizontally. The x unit is going to stay the same. But do you see y minus 3 and it ended up moving down? Do you see that? That's how we're going to do it. So when you look here at the algebraic rule, it's always going to be x plus, could it be minus? Yeah, or it could be plus a negative. And then y plus b. Okay? The hardest part, are you ready for the very hardest part? So focus. The hardest part know your left from your right, and your up from your down. I know. If you're not sure, make your hand into an L like this. This is your left hand, okay? Your other one is the right hand. That's going to be important. This is up, this is down. If you can remember that, it's easy. Okay? I promise. Translations are easy. All right? Okay, let's look at the next one. XY, x plus 4, y plus 2. Before we even do it, let's predict what's going to happen. What's going to happen here? How is it going to move? First, it's going to go to the right 4. Then what's it going to do? Up 2. Based on what the rule says. Okay, let's see if that's actually true. All right. So m prime, we're going to go -5 plus 4 would be what? -1. -3 plus 2 would be -1. And then you'll go ahead and plot that. Now go ahead and why don't you finish that out? Okay. Now, I guess you could use your calculator if you felt it necessary. But we know, because these are just basic math. Okay, and then take a look. Did it move to the right and then up? Yeah, it did what we said it was going to do. Okay, let's talk about the properties of these shapes. The pre-image and the image are what? Congruent. Good. The corresponding angles are the same. They are also congruent. The corresponding sides are, they're also congruent. So let's talk about when some of these words might be different. Okay? The pre-image and image, instead of congruent, it could say, not for this, but for a different transformation. You could say similar. And if it said similar, which transformation would that be? It would be a dilation. And if it said that those were similar, corresponding angles would be what? Still congruent, but the corresponding sides would be, there we go, proportional. Okay? So, I have a question down here that you don't have. Do translations preserve congruence? Yes. Is orientation affected? What was orientation? Remember, it's how it's turned. Is the orientation affected? No, because if you look at the letters M-A-T-H, M-A-T-H, it's the same, okay? And it didn't flip in any way. So orientation's not affected, and yes, it does preserve congruence. Okay? All right, your turn to try. So you try with your table group partner, your home office. Let's add a verbal description to the first one. What would you say? It was what?
It was 2 units right and 3 units down.
2 units right, 3 down. Okay? And how about this one? 6 units
Right.
left.
6 units left.
And that's all. Okay? Now, listen, if you ever get confused, refer back to a number line or the coordinate grid. Okay? What I mean is, when we're going left and right, when you start at the origin, when we go left, we're getting smaller. When we go right, we're getting bigger. Okay? And so this tells you bigger or smaller. Okay? Same thing going up and down. When we're going up, we're getting bigger, and when we go down, we're getting smaller. So here, a -3 means we're getting smaller. Okay? All right. So far, the ones I'm trying to do, they're already going to have done the transformation, and they want you to figure out what happened. Okay? So, use the translation of GHIJ to answer A through C. Give a verbal description of the translation. Okay? So, first, we need to know, I would just pick a point, it doesn't even matter. So, which one is the pre-image? H. H is located where? 2, -1. H prime is now located at -5, 3. Your job is to figure out how did they get from here to there. So from 2 to -5. What would that be? Does everybody understand that if I do 2 minus 7, and then, and that happens to be x, and then how did we get from -1 to 3? So y plus 4. So there is what actually happened, but now they wanted it as a verbal description. Well, if it's x minus 7, what would you say? Move what? 7 units left, because it was a -7. And then what? 4 units up. Now, that's how to do it with math. Let's do it with a visual, since you have a graph, right? If I'm looking from here to here, you could walk it. What I mean is, it went this many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it went 1, 2, 3, 4. You see what I'm saying? There's 2 ways to do that. So either figuring it out mathematical or with the drawing. It doesn't matter which one, whatever works for you. Okay? B says, how would you represent this algebraically? Well, since I did it algebraically first, that was easy. So x minus 7, y plus 4. What do you notice about the line segments and angle measures in the pre-image and image? Yeah, they're congruent. Okay. Now, what's different about number 4? There's no graph. That's right. So you got to know how to do it without one. The coordinates for triangle KLM are given in the table. Eric plans to translate the triangle 9 units right and x units down. Describe how you could find the coordinates for the image. Well, if we're doing 9 units right, what does that mean? X plus 9, perfect. And if we're going 9 units down, what would you do? Y minus 9, okay? And then it says to record the coordinates for KLM prime and the table. So that means we're actually going to do it. So K prime, -7 plus 9 will be positive 2. And then 2 minus 9 will be -7. I'm just applying that rule. All right? So L prime, -2 plus 9 plus 7. And then 2 minus 9, -7. And then M prime, -2 plus 9, 7. And 7 minus 9, -2. Can you see where it's easy to like get all this mixed up? Because the numbers are kind of the same. If this was a quiz or something and you were not feeling very confident about this problem because there's no picture, what could you do? Grab some graph paper and you could actually draw it. You never even have to ask for it, just get them to get it. Okay? The only time you have to ask for it is in the STAR test. You have to ask the teacher, they'll get it to you. Okay? All right. The rest of this page, I'd like for you to try it with your partner there. All right, and then we will check. If you're at home, pause the video. Okay, you ready? Did you get the number 5? It was 13 left and 7 up. And x minus 13, y plus 7. Number 6, 1 unit right, 10 units up. So that would be x plus 1, y plus 10. And then 6 units left, 7 units down, x minus 6, y minus 7. Okay? And then it says They show the translation of ABC, mark each statement as true or false. The triangle was translated from quadrant 2 to quadrant 4. Is that true or false? Why? It was the other way around. That's right. You had to realize that this was the pre-image, this was the image, so it went from 4 to 2. Okay? The translation can be represented x plus 10, y minus 10. False. Which, by the way, if you miss this one, then are you going to miss this one? Yeah. Okay? And then the translation preserved congruence and orientation of both the figure and the vertex. Okay? All right, guys. So now, I have a quizzes, and then the back 2 pages are homework, okay? And your test review is due tomorrow night. So if you want to start working on the homework while people are getting logged in for the quizzes,